Why do you keep peeing on the wall right there? I don't like that. Stains. Hey, get over here. Hey, Nismo. What can you do? Aluminum dust on the back here. So I started making some intercooler piping last night. So one of the things I noticed is I unbolted this support last night. It does hold part of the grill in the center there and on the bottom. But those points aren't really needed. There's a lot of other connection points for the grill. Like the R32, R33, does a lot of support for the hood latch, but this thing is completely solid on its own. That's more for mounting stuff. And then this fan here was added. These are not factory. So where this had come from, I guess they were having issues with it, air conditioning in the summertime out there. It's pretty warm. Or is it winter? I don't know, whatever they call it. So I'm thinking about getting rid of that fan, because on the other side I have, on the radiator side, you know, I got a nice big electric fan, and then I have that fan over there on the trans cooler, which is also, that's a massive fan, so that's pulling all through here as well. Like, it's not perfect, but it's still going to do something. The other thing I thought about doing was they sell little 4 and 6 inch radiator fans. Thought about just getting rid of this 10-incher and just doing 2 small ones, and then doing a heat exchanger here. I could fit the heat exchanger that way for the, like, so basically I have like 2 fans on the low side. I'd relocate the horn and have the heat exchanger on the top side. So this is the game plan. Let me find that piece of pipe I was grinding on. Cutting out a piece of pipe. Is it in here? So I got my throttle body just mocked up. Okay. It's kind of a wasted effort right now because of the fact that the machine shop's actually going to make those brackets. I'll post a picture of those. I might actually sell those to anyone who needs them. But I'm going to have this welded onto the throttle body. And basically what I want is what you see right here is, it's kind of hard, my hand in the way. Got to get the gaps figured out, but one of the things I got to do first is get my transmission adapter in, my cross member, and get this motor moved back, because I'm doing all this work. The pitch of the motor will change and all that. So basically what I want is this intercooler piping to run right across the front here, perfectly straight. This fan here, I got about 1 inch or 2 at the bottom of the radiator. I'm going to lower that fan down, that way the intercooler piping comes across there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to basically turn it right into this direction here, which is also going to put the turbo back 2.5 inches once the motor moves back. And this is going to be where the barrel intercooler goes. This thing here is 6 inches wide by, I think it's 10 or 12 inches long. This is not the intercooler. This is just something I had laying in the shed. Yes, that's 10 inches on the end. The barrel would be 5 inches round and 15 inches long. So the game plan is to have the intercooler down here, and then basically come up on a slightward angle, like a slight upward angle, catch that pipe, run across the backside of the top of the radiator, and right into there. I'd have a hump coupler here, and I'd have a hump coupler right here. The aluminum pipe that's going to be running across the top there, it's going to get a little tab, 1 or 2 little tabs, and get mounted to the top of the radiator. That way that part's stationary. It's just 2 hump couplers that when the motor rocks back and forth. But that's pretty much the way I figured it out. It doesn't interfere with any of the lines or anything down here. You know, I can move stuff around a little bit, but for the most part, it's nice and clear. And then if I keep it low enough, I can still take that this way. My air filter plan on this is basically to reuse this. So they sell snorkels that you drill a hole right through here. It goes up and over, but I can't see, there's not enough room for me to fit an air filter in there. So what I think I want to do is actually build one out of aluminum. So basically have my intake come through, have aluminum pipe basically. Maybe even do it in steel. Maybe just do it in steel. Maybe like exhaust pipe, like 3-inch pipe. Come up here on tabs, come up, turn over, and they do sell boxes that house an air filter and have like a rain shield on them for up there. So I'm thinking about just making my own snorkel and having the actual air filter at the top up there. But to get this thing up and running for the time being, it's just going to be like a K&N air filter right here with a short ram. Just, you know, just until we get it on the road. That'll be a later on type of thing. Oh, so heat exchanger would go there. And earlier in the video I was talking about utilizing this bumper a little bit for water storage. Definitely thinking about doing that. Probably the center section here. It's strong. It's got plenty of room to box that in. Basically what it would have is a steel radiator cap nipple right here. I'd have to drill a couple lines in. No big deal, but probably one right here, and the other one would probably come through right here. Just hole saw a couple lines in. The hot return would enter on the top side. But like not on the top. It would be like right back here. Somewhere's in there with a -10 nipple on the back end. It has a step in there, so I can hide the -10 nipple there and even just come in underneath the bottom. And then the outlet would be on the bottom, but it wouldn't be all the way on the bottom. It would be recessed in. So maybe not even turn that into a water tank. Maybe just put the water tank behind it. But yeah, so water tank, heat exchanger, would have a bung on it. Probably easier just to use the actual bumper as the water tank. Water air in-pour barrel, shoot straight across. But like the one thing with that throttle body that I was describing is it does have to be welded on. They do not sell couplers to do what I want to do. It would be like 120 degrees. It would have been upward. It has to kink down. So there's going to be a couple different pie cuts on this all said and done. But basically get it on like this and then put a pie in to turn it this way and run it across. So basically it should go straight across. And then have some aluminum straps off of it to hold it in place. I'm going to take a couple measurements here. I know I'm good on the 15 inches there. I want to measure for a heat exchanger here, but yeah, so I think I'm gonna do 2 small fans. They sell some real micro, they're basically motorcycle radiator fans. Just do 2 of those on the condenser. Like I said, they're not factory. These things factory don't come with a condenser fan, so I'm probably fine just not even doing one, but it might be just a good idea to have 2 on the front there. The other thing I haven't really thought about much yet is my oil cooler. So I got my Moroso bypass block on down there, just resting on the motor. I gotta take it off, get it cleaned up, and figure out what I'm gonna do. But I gotta figure out where I'm putting the oil filter. So on the R33, it was under the front bumper. I don't necessarily want to do that on this, but it's a possibility. I like using the big filters, so it's hard to fit one in over here. I could just eliminate the filter altogether, or eliminate that altogether and just put a filter on the block, no cooling or anything, but I don't know. So I really don't have any room for oil cooler. That would also go behind the bumper, but something that might be just less is more on this. Maybe I'll just put a filter on the block, not use that. And yeah, everything's kind of moving along though. It's just wait. The transfer case adapter will be here on Monday. It's in the United States. They're going to deliver on Monday, and then start getting that. So basically, right now is get these motor mount adapters put on. You're gonna need to basically lift the motor up, swap the motor mounts out, put them on those block adapters, put the block adapters down. That's going to move the motor back 2.5 inches, but it's also going to lift the motor 0.63 inches. So a little bit more than somewhere between 1/2 and 3/4 of an inch. So we're talking like that. Really not much. Gizmo! Really not much at all. Gives me a little bit more ground clearance. It won't mess up with the trans pitch. I got to redo the trans cross member anyhow, so no big deal. Come on. Get inside the house. You guys are being bad. Winston, come on. Gizmo. Why are you being a jerk? So that's the game plan. So let me get that stuff in. Once I get the transmission cross member done with the new motor mounts, that motor will be sitting at its permanent location, and then I can mess with the intercooler stuff. But I'm going to go ahead and order the intercooler barrel, and I'm going to do some measurements now for a heat exchanger. And like I said, I'm 99% sure I'm either going to turn the bumper into a water storage tank or put one in it and just drill a hole for the cap to, you know, basically the fill cap to come through. But like I was saying, I can at least do 3 to 4 gallons in that bumper, which would help a lot. And then go from there. All right, let me take some measurements. Hell yeah, brother. Straight from Australia. Got delivered by DHL today. This is something I've been waiting way too long on ordering. I just became lazy. I should have had this like a year ago. It was a little expensive, but it's here. And the cat. It's more curious than anything. I know I need to order a couple gaskets for it, but they're like GM side. It's the GM side gaskets, not the Nissan. So, here we go. Transfer case adapter. What else we got? Some bolts. Some big thing. Okay. There's a tail shaft thingy. Should be some kind of sleeve. I like how the guy was cool about it and just put it at the back door. Okay, so this is Turbo 400 to Nissan. So I had to have the output shaft shortened on the Turbo 400. I had them do that based upon the instruction of this kit way before I even had the transmission built. So they had already cut the output shaft for me. Looks like some kind of seal, some kind of plug. What's this? Maybe instructions. Marks 4-wheel drive. Ever since I threw away that one piece, I'm like real careful about this crap now. Like, is there a fake bottom in the box? Just in case. Gross ass package. Asshole, what are you doing? Read it. Anyhow, this is fun. This is good. So looks like we're headed in the right direction. Here's the instructions for the Mark's 4-wheel drive adapter kit. Fit the Turbo 400 extension housing and sealing ring to the steel adapter plate spigot. Okay. Note: a TH700, which is actually a 700R4 4L60E O-ring, can be used. Put a smear of elastic on the mating surfaces, RTV. Fit the steel adapter, blah 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 blah, using the bolts. Fit a new sealing ring to the cast adapter housing, TH700 to 4L60 ring. So I ordered those sealing rings based upon a 4L60. I double checked, triple checked that part against like 5 different model 4-wheel drive vehicles that I know who they had 4L60s. It all matched up. Ordered the parts, way too big. I emailed these guys and they haven't got back to me yet. It's been like 5 days. So something's a little bit different here. Can't really notice it, but the adapter, the transfer case and transfer case adapter are in the car. So we got to finish up like mounting the brakes and everything, but she's all in there. Massive transfer case adapter. So because I'm moving the motor back some, and because it's the wrong transmission for the car anyhow, the transmission crossmember doesn't line up. So right now it's just sitting on the jack stand, or the transmission stand. So when I get the motor mount brackets in from JG Billet, I might have to have him possibly make new motor mounts. Well, anyhow, when I get the motor mount adapter brackets that I designed in, I can get the transmission crossmember under the transfer case, or it actually goes on the transfer case adapter. There's one of the mounts there, and the other one goes up back over there. So, but I do have to transfer some of this stuff over, such as the vent line tube, the speed sensor. There's a bunch of jazz on there that need to get swapped in onto the adapter that I put in over there, and then I gotta connect the shift linkage. So all that's gonna get pushed back a little bit, and then I gotta see if I can get the transmission itself has plenty of room. It's just the e-brake assembly on the very back of the transmission, or the transfer case. That's the only area where it's a little bit of a concern. Once I get it's real close to the body right now, and if I bring it back further, it might be in an area that's just a little tighter. So the motor might have a gangster lean to it. I don't mind a little bit lean back. This is the rear sump pan in this. It's the RD28/RB30 Patrol stand. So I'll be able to, it's not an issue draining off the back of the motor, because that's where the sump's at anyhow. So I'd like to fix that angle a little bit, but I might be stuck with that. I got rid of my Tesla, and I got a really good deal on this. So 2020 Frostbite Blue Scat Pack SRT RT. I don't know what the hell it is. It's one or the other. It's got like 300 miles on it now. I gotta clean it up a little bit, but I'm gonna get the windows tinted. I ordered like a wicker bill, front splash guard thing, rear diffuser, lowering springs, camber fixing arms, a bunch of shit for it already. So basically I've had the car for 3 days and I already ordered a ton of fun stuff for it. Was thinking about boosting it, but at the same time the thing freaking rips, so probably don't need to boost it. I got this thing for like 40 grand brand new. Or a Hellcat I was looking at was like 70. So figured, hey, save 30 grand, boost it myself or blow it up. My friend's a dealer tech who works on these things all the time. So he said that the RTs and the 392s, they're not too picky on the warranty with, but on the Hellcats, they're very anal on like documentation, ECU scans, photos of every part of the car, looking for history of go fast parts basically. So decided not to go on the Hellcat, and realistically it's like 500, it's like 485 horsepower or something like that. It's pretty fun. I think I'm gonna do some basic bolt-ons and get it up. And I'm editing a video, so I figured I'd fill you in on that and actually put an exit on one of my videos, because most of my videos is just me just saying like, all right, see you. Oh, and the other thing is I had to back out of that one GTR. It had some issues that came up on the inspection on it. Bought another one that's on its way here, so there will be it's a KN6 dark gray pearl. Kind of a rare color for an R33. So you have an R33 GTR inbound. Bought it to resell it. So if you're interested, message me. Probably have a little bit of that car on the channel as well, but it's not going to be a build. It's literally just going to be some maintenance, some detailing, taking care of a couple small items on the car. I'll mostly using R33 parts that I have from my old one, and just getting that thing fixed up and up for sale it goes. I'll probably end up listing it on eBay for about $47,000. If you're interested though, just hit me up and we can probably work some kind of deal out.